What if I told you that your life is not shaped by destiny, luck, or opportunities, but by the small rules you repeat every day without even noticing? Most people live by accidental rules. Rules they never chose, habits they never questioned, beliefs they inherited from people who never lived the life they wanted. But here's the truth. Your life is designed, either by you or by someone else. If you don't control your rules will control your future. So before we begin, do one brave thing. Subscribe, follow, or bookmark this audiobook, because every chapter will challenge your thinking, your habits, and maybe even your identity. This isn't information, this is transformation. Chapter 1. Take absolute responsibility. One of the greatest tragedies of human life is that we are taught how to blame before we are taught how to build. From childhood, we learn to point fingers: parents, politics, society, circumstances, even God. And most people never learn to point at themselves. Not because they're weak, but because nobody ever showed them how powerful responsibility really is. Responsibility is not about fault. Responsibility is about control. You can blame and lose control, or you can take responsibility and take control of your life. Most people waste years believing their life is the result of things that happen to them. But the truth is brutal. Your life is the result of how you respond to what happens to you. Two people can experience the same event. One becomes weaker, one becomes stronger. The difference isn't the event. The difference is the response. Responsibility is not something life gives you. Responsibility is something you choose. The blame game feels safe. Blaming people is seductive. It gives you a short-term emotional relief. It makes you feel right. It makes you feel justified. But deep inside, you know it makes you powerless. Because every time you blame someone, you hand them the remote control of your life. They did this. They caused that. They ruined my life. If they are responsible, then you are helpless. And that means you cannot change your future. Blaming is easy. Responsibility is hard. That's why very few people succeed. Life becomes easier when you stop waiting. Sometimes we live like we're waiting for someone to rescue us. Maybe family will change. Maybe economy will change. Maybe opportunities will come. But life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards moving. The moment you stop waiting, life starts opening. You don't need better circumstances. You need better decisions. You don't need perfect timing. You need to start where you are. You don't need permission. You need responsibility. Responsibility changes identities. There are two types of people in this world. Victims' life happens to them. Builders, they make life happen. Victims ask, "Why me?" Builders ask, "What can I do now?" Victims escape. Builders face reality. Victims complain. Builders solve. Victims expect. Builders create. The day you become a builder, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. You are not responsible for everything that happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do next. You can't change your parents. You can't change your past. You can't change what someone did to you. But you can change your future. Your story is not what happened. Your story is what you decide to do with what happened. That's responsibility. Responsibility equals freedom. Most people think responsibility is a burden, but actually responsibility is freedom. Responsibility frees you from excuses, frees you from waiting, frees you from your old identity. When you take responsibility, nobody can stop you. Not people, not economy, not past. Life starts responding to you. Responsibility is the passport to freedom. Rule 1 is simple but painful. If your life is not where you want it to be, look in the mirror. Not because you're guilty, but because that mirror holds the only person who can change it. You don't fix your life by fixing people. You fix your life by fixing yourself. And here's the surprising part. When you change yourself, everything around you starts changing automatically. Relationships change. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. When you take responsibility, life becomes something you can shape, like wet clay. 3 truths you must accept. 1. Nobody is coming to save you. 2. Nobody owes you anything. 3. Your life is your job. You can be hurt without being helpless. You can be broken without staying broken. Responsibility is not about what happened, it's about what you choose next. Responsibility is power. Every successful person shares one belief. Everything in my life is my responsibility. Does that mean everything is your fault? No, it means everything is under your control. You can change your habits, you can change your mind, you can change your future. That's power. The day life changes, your life changes the day you say one sentence: "I am responsible for what happens next." From that moment, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become the creator of your story. Responsibility doesn't just give you success, it gives you dignity. It's not just a rule, it's a life philosophy. Chapter 2, define what you want. Most people live their entire life without ever deciding what they truly want. They only know what they do not want. But they never define what they actually desire. And without direction, even the strongest person stays confused. Because life is like a road. If you don't choose your destination, you will keep traveling in circles. Many people wait years hoping life will magically show them their path. But life does not show you the path. Life only responds when you choose one yourself. So, understand this very deeply. If you don't choose your life, someone else will choose it for you. Your parents, society, culture, expectations. Everyone will pull you in different directions. And you will spend your life trying to please everyone, but still feeling empty from inside. Because you never lived your own vision. The truth is, clarity is power. Without clarity, you cannot focus. Without clarity, you cannot decide. Without clarity, you cannot say no. And without no, you cannot protect your yes. Life becomes powerful the moment you know exactly what you want, not what looks good, not what sounds impressive, but what your soul wants. The real question is not what do you want tomorrow. The real question is what kind of life do you want 10 years from now? Close your eyes and imagine your ideal life. What time do you wake up? Where do you live? What kind of work do you do? How much peace do you feel? What kind of people are around you? This picture is your compass. Most people ignore this picture and keep running blindly. They work hard but have no direction, so they become tired, frustrated, and disappointed, not because they are weak, but because they are walking without a map. Every dream, every goal, every success begins with intention, and intention means deciding what you want before life forces you to accept something you never wanted. Imagine two people. One knows exactly what he wants, another has no idea. The first person walks confidently. The second person stops at every step, doubting, confused, insecure. Focus creates energy. Confusion destroys energy. Clarity turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. When you know where you are going, nothing can distract you. Distractions only win when there is no purpose pulling you forward. Your desires are not random. They are signals from the future, trying to guide you towards your real life. Listen to those desires deeply without judgment. Because your destiny is hidden inside the things you are naturally drawn to. The hobbies you love, the thoughts that repeat in your mind, the dreams you cannot forget. These are not accidents. These are directions. Your future is talking to you. But most people ignore it because they are afraid. What if I fail? What will people say? What if I am not good enough? But think for a moment. Fear is temporary. Regret is forever. Every great life begins with a decision. And the most powerful decision is this: I choose my direction, even if I am scared, even if I don't know how, even if everyone doubts me. Once you choose, life starts helping you. The right people show up, opportunities appear, ideas flow, timing becomes perfect, because the universe supports those who choose with courage. Your only job right now is to define your direction, even if it feels impossible. Write your goals without fear. Write your dreams without shame. Write your desires without apology. Because destiny respects clarity. You don't need permission, you only need vision. And remember this final truth: life does not give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you decide. This is rule number 2. Define what you want now before life defines it for you. Chapter 3, kill your comfort zone. Most people never grow, not because they are weak, but because they are too comfortable. Comfort feels safe, but it slowly destroys your potential. Every great life starts on the other side of discomfort. The painful truth is your comfort zone is your silent prison. It looks peaceful, but it keeps you small, it keeps you predictable, it keeps you average, and average is the most dangerous place, because you are alive, but not living. Every time you avoid discomfort, you avoid growth. Every time you choose easy, you reject your future. Nothing meaningful is ever built inside comfort. The human mind loves comfort, because comfort protects ego. You cannot fail. When you do nothing, you cannot be judged. When you stay silent, you cannot lose. When you never try, but you also cannot win without risk. Most people wait for courage, they wait for confidence. But courage does not come first, action does. Courage is born after you move. Confidence is built through experience, not before it. You will never feel ready, and that is why most dreams die before they even start. Think about it. Every powerful person you admire became powerful because they stepped into something uncomfortable. They did things that scared them. They faced situations that demanded growth. They pushed themselves beyond who they were yesterday. Discomfort is the gym of your character. When life becomes too easy, you are shrinking. Success demands pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. People grow through challenge. It is simple nature. Your life expands only when your actions expand your success. Increases only when your courage increases. Comfort is not your friend. Comfort is a thief. It steals your potential. Without asking permission, if you allow comfort to control you, your future will always look like your past. And that is the biggest tragedy. Imagine living the same year again and again. Until you die, no evolution, no excitement, no discovery, just repeating patterns like a machine. But you are not a machine, you are potential. If you want a better life, you must be willing to feel uncomfortable. Speak when your voice shakes. Start when your hands tremble. Try when your mind fears. Yes, failure might happen. Yes, rejection can happen. Yes, judgments will come. But you will not die. Discomfort feels dangerous. But it is actually the beginning of power. Every new level of life demands a new level of you. Your future self is waiting on the other side of decisions. You are afraid to make right now. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal. It is showing you exactly where you need to go. Your fear highlights your next growth. Fear only means there is something valuable on the other side. If it was meaningless, you would not fear it. So understand this. Whenever you feel discomfort, do not run, move toward it. If something scares you, it means that thing can help you evolve. Your comfort zone will lie to you. It will tell you you are fine. It will tell you relax. It will tell you tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week becomes next year. And next year becomes regret. Regret is heavier than fear. Regret destroys hearts slowly. Regret is a poison that grows over time. Pain of discipline is temporary. Pain of regret is permanent. So choose pain, choose challenge. Choose uncomfortable actions. Choose growth. Kill your comfort zone before your comfort zone kills your future. This is rule number 3. And it will change everything if you follow it. Chapter 4. Master your mind. Most people think the mind is who they are, but the truth is your mind is only a tool. And a tool must be controlled. If you don't control your mind will control you. Thoughts come, thoughts go. But we treat every thought like truth, every worry like reality, every fear like destiny. Your mind produces thoughts automatically. But you decide which thoughts you believe. Understanding this difference is the beginning of real freedom. Your mind is like a radio playing non-stop, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But remember, just because a thought appears does not mean it deserves attention. Most suffering in life comes not from events, but from the stories we tell ourselves about those events. Two people experience the same situation. One becomes broken, the other becomes wiser. Difference is not destiny. Difference is interpretation. Your thoughts are not facts. Most thoughts are habits repeated again and again until they look like truth. Thinking is not the problem. Believing every thought is the real problem. Your mind will sometimes lie. It will say you cannot do this, you are not good enough, you are too late, you will fail. But truth is the mind protects. Comfort the mind fears. Uncertainty the mind wants. Safety, even if safety means staying unhappy. The mind loves patterns. It hates change because change feels dangerous. But life begins at change. So the mind must be trained just like muscles are trained through repetition. Same way thoughts can be trained through awareness. Notice your thoughts. Without judging them, observe them like clouds passing in the sky. You are the sky. Your thoughts are clouds. Clouds change. Sky remains. Thoughts change. You remain powerful. Awareness breaks the chain. Once you become aware, the mind loses control, and you become the master. Meditation, silence, journaling, deep breathing. These are not spiritual hobbies. These are mental tools. They are ways to observe the mind and separate yourself from it. When you slow down your thinking, you start understanding your inner world. You start catching negative patterns before they control you. A powerful mind is not a mind without fear. It is a mind that sees fear and still chooses action. Thoughts become feelings. Feelings become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become your identity. So change begins at the thought level. Question your thoughts. Question your beliefs. Question the voice that says you cannot. You are not that voice. You are the one hearing that voice. Every time you reject a negative thought, you strengthen your mental muscles. Every time you choose a better thought, you rewrite your mind. New thinking, new emotions, new life. Remember, the brain is plastic. It can grow, it can change at any age. Do not believe the lie that you are stuck. You can rewire your mind through daily small choices. Your future self depends on how you think today. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does everything in life is created twice. First in your mind, then in reality. Think better to live better. This is rule number 4. Master your mind. Chapter 5. Become a student of life. Most people stop learning the moment school ends. They believe education is something that happens only in classrooms. But life is the real classroom, and life keeps teaching until the day you die. The problem begins when people think they already know enough. This belief closes the mind, And a closed mind can never grow. The person who thinks he knows everything will never become more than he is right now. But the person who admits he knows very little becomes limitless. Because learning is expansion and ignorance is limitation. Every successful human shares one secret: they never stop being a student. They stay curious, hungry, open, humble, and willing to learn from anything. And anyone, even a child, a stranger, a failure, a mistake. The universe is full of teachers, but only a learner can see them. Ego blocks learning. Ego whispers, you already know, you don't need help, you are smarter than others. But the truth is, ego is just fear in disguise: fear of looking small, fear of appearing weak, fear of admitting you are still growing. But growth requires honesty. You cannot evolve if you pretend you already arrived. Being a student of life means you remain teachable forever. You listen more than you speak. Because listening opens doors. You observe without judgment. Because observation reveals truth. You accept correction without defending yourself. Because correction is a shortcut to mastery. Imagine water. Water stays pure because it keeps moving. When water stops moving, it becomes dirty. Life is the same. If you stop learning, you stop living. Your mind becomes stiff. Your beliefs become old. Your thinking becomes rigid. And a rigid mind breaks easily. Learning makes your mind flexible. Learning teaches adaptation, and adaptation is the highest form of intelligence. Animals survive because they adapt. Humans rise because they learn. Look at every invention, every discovery, every progress. It all came from curiosity. Someone asked a question, and that question changed the world. Curiosity expands consciousness. Questions open possibilities. When you stop asking questions, you lock the future. Learning is not only about knowledge. Learning is about awareness. Awareness of yourself, awareness of others, awareness of patterns, awareness of reality. Wisdom begins when you understand yourself. And understanding yourself begins when you study yourself, your habits, your triggers, your emotions, your reactions, your beliefs. Why do you get angry? Why do you avoid challenges? Why do you fear judgment? Why do you repeat old mistakes? Only awareness can break old cycles. Only awareness can transform your identity. Self-study is the highest education. The greatest masters of life were first masters of themselves. They watched themselves like a scientist watches an experiment. They learned from their failures without shame. They learned from their pain without complaining. They learned from their relationships, even when relationships hurt. Because everything has a lesson if you are willing to learn from it. But learning is uncomfortable. Learning exposes your weaknesses. Learning shows your blind spots. Learning demands humility. Humility is the doorway to greatness. The most dangerous person is not the one who knows nothing. The most dangerous person is the one who refuses to learn, because refusal to learn is refusal to grow. There are three types of people. 1 learns before pain, 2 learns after pain, 3 never learns and repeats pain forever. Choose to be the first type. Learn before life forces you. Life will teach you through challenges, through loss, through difficulties. If you don't listen willingly, life will push you. Learning is a choice. Growth is a decision. Wisdom is a commitment. Decide today: I will become a student of life forever. The moment you make this decision, life starts giving you teachers, guidance, ideas, signs, opportunities, because the universe rewards humility. The universe expands those who seek expansion. Becoming a student of life also means letting go of the need to always be right. Being right is an ego need. Growing is a life need. Choose growth over ego. Choose curiosity over certainty. Certainty feels safe, but it kills possibility. Curiosity feels risky, but it opens doors. You cannot discover new oceans if you refuse to leave the shore. So leave the shore of ego and sail into the ocean of growth. Every book, every conversation, every failure, every experience carries knowledge hidden inside it. Pay attention. People waste years repeating the same mistakes because they never stop to learn the lesson. Pain without learning becomes suffering. Pain with learning becomes evolution. Learning turns tragedies into wisdom. Learning turns embarrassment into humility. Learning turns mistakes into mastery. Nothing in your life is wasted if you learn from it. Imagine if every setback taught you something. Imagine if every loss gave you insight. Imagine if every challenge improved you. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. They learn faster than others, learn deeper than others, learn continuously. While others stop, you can start right now. Ask yourself, what did today teach me? What am I repeating? What can I change? What belief is holding me back? What skill must I build? What habit must I kill? Ask yourself better questions, and life will give you better answers. Remember, your mind grows exactly like a muscle. Whatever you train becomes stronger if you train. Excuses become stronger. If you train learning becomes stronger. And when learning becomes your habit, success becomes unavoidable, because success loves learners. Success looks for those who are evolving. Success arrives to minds that are still open. Rule number 5 is not just advice, it is a lifelong commitment. Become a student of life forever, because the more you learn, the more you become. And the more you become, the more life opens for you. Chapter 6: Build systems, not motivation. Most people wait for motivation before they start something. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect day, the perfect energy. And because motivation is never permanent, they end up doing nothing for weeks, months, sometimes years. Motivation feels exciting, but it disappears the moment life becomes difficult. Motivation is emotional, but systems are structural. Motivation depends on feelings, but systems depend on habits, and habits shape destiny. Think of motivation like fire on paper. It burns fast and dies quickly, but systems are like fire on coals, slow, steady, and long-lasting. Every successful person you admire is not living on motivation. They are living on systems. Systems are routines that work even when you don't feel like working. Motivation is temporary, structure is permanent. One gym session on a motivated day changes nothing, but a routine of daily training changes health forever. One day of waking early means nothing, but building a morning system transforms your entire identity. Systems remove confusion because you no longer ask, should I do this or not? The answer becomes automatic. You just follow what you built. People think discipline is about being strong, but discipline is actually about reducing decisions. Strong willpower is not endless, so discipline protects your energy by making decisions ahead of time. Imagine someone who wakes when they want, eats when they feel like it, works when they are inspired. Their life becomes unpredictable. Now imagine someone who wakes at the same time, eats the same breakfast, plans the same work block. Their life becomes stable, and stability creates results. Systems remove negotiation with yourself. You don't argue with your mind. Every morning your system decides for you. This is why routines matter. A routine is a silent decision that repeats itself without discussion. Think of brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it because it became a system. And that is how success should be: automatic, repeated, non-negotiable. Systems create identity. Identity creates lifestyle, and lifestyle creates results. When you rely only on motivation, you train your brain to wait. When you rely on systems, you train your brain to move even when you feel nothing. Most people start strong and quit fast, not because they are weak, but because they didn't build support. They only used temporary excitement. Feelings cannot be trusted. Feelings change every hour. But systems create consistency. Consistency builds mastery. Mastery builds confidence. Confidence builds success, and success becomes normal once a system exists. Your brain adapts. Human brain loves patterns. The more you repeat a behavior, the more your brain saves energy and makes it effortless. This is how habits form. You first force them, then they become automatic. The secret is consistency, not intensity. Doing something small every day beats doing something big once a month. Massive effort impresses people, but small daily effort changes reality. Slow progress is still progress. Small actions compound. Over time, one drop is nothing, but millions of drops become an ocean. Same with habits. Small systems turn into massive results. Remember, your body follows structure, your mind follows routine, your environment follows order. So design systems that guide you towards your best self. If you want health, systemize sleep, systemize meals, systemize exercise. If you want money, systemize savings, systemize learning, systemize work. If you want peace, systemize priorities, systemize time, systemize relationships. Remove randomness from areas that matter. Create rules. You live by set times. You follow set environments. You use environment matters more than motivation. Your room affects your focus. Your desk affects your work. Your phone affects your attention. Change your environment, and your habits start changing without effort. Make your environment friction-free. If you want to read, keep books near you. If you want to train, keep shoes ready. If you want to work seriously, turn off notifications. Don't rely on willpower. Build your world around your goals. Understand this deeply. The world is designed to distract you, so you must design your own systems to protect you. Every platform wants your attention. Every advertisement wants your time. Every notification wants your mind. If you don't build systems, the world will build systems that trap you. Successful people are not smarter, they are more structured. They don't leave success to luck. They design their life like architecture: blueprint, routine, execution. This is why they win repeatedly. While others struggle randomly, every successful business is built on systems, marketing systems, money systems, hiring systems. Every successful athlete is built on systems, training systems, eating systems, recovery systems. Every successful mind is built on systems, thinking systems, learning systems, reflection systems. Nothing great in this world is random. It is systematic. The moment you build systems, success stops being emotional and becomes predictable. Understand this ultimate truth. Motivation creates movement, but systems sustain movement. When motivation dies, systems keep going. When feelings fall, systems hold you. When life becomes heavy, systems carry you. Your future cannot depend on your mood. Your future must depend on your structure. So build daily rituals, morning rituals, night routines, weekly goals, monthly reviews. Automate what matters, reduce decisions, and increase action. Don't trust motivation, trust structure. Don't trust feelings, trust systems, because systems still work on your worst days, and that is exactly when you need them most. Rule number 6, build systems, not motivation, because motivation makes you start, but systems make you unstoppable. Chapter 7, guard your attention. The most valuable resource in your life is not money, not time, not energy. It is attention, because whatever gets your attention controls your mind. And whatever controls your mind controls your life. Today, the world is not fighting for your money. The world is fighting for your attention. Apps, notifications, ads, entertainment, social media, everything is designed to steal your focus. Attention is the new currency, and most people are bankrupt without even knowing it. Every distraction has a hidden price. Every minute stolen from your focus is a minute stolen from your future. Think about it. Your dreams need your attention. Your goals need your attention. Your growth needs your attention. But if your attention is scattered, your life becomes scattered. People think they are tired, but actually they are mentally overloaded. Constant notifications, constant scrolling, constant noise. Your brain is drowning in useless information. And you wonder why you feel anxious, why you cannot think clearly, why you cannot stay consistent. The truth is your brain was not built for constant stimulation. Your brain needs silence to think, needs space to create, needs focus to grow. Without attention, nothing meaningful is possible. Attention is the fuel of success. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Ask yourself who benefits when you lose focus. You watching endless videos. Benefits platforms, not you. You scrolling hours. Benefits companies, not you. You reacting to every notification. Benefits apps, not you. You are the product, and your attention is being sold to the highest bidder. Most people are not living their own life. They are living inside algorithms designed to control their behavior. The more distracted you are, the more powerless you become. So the first step is awareness. Notice what steals your attention. Notice how you get pulled. Without thinking, every scroll is training your brain to be impatient. Every switch is training your mind to be restless. This destroys deep work, deep thinking, deep presence. And without depth, your life becomes surface level. Without purpose, without mastery, without real progress, success demands depth. Attention creates depth. Distraction destroys it. The greatest thinkers in history valued silence. They protected time to think, time to reflect, time to create, because creativity is born in quiet space. Your best ideas are waiting underneath the noise. Your clarity is waiting underneath the noise. Your peace is waiting underneath the noise. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers, but you can only hear them when you reduce noise. Make rules for your attention. Turn off notifications. Check messages only at specific times. Limit your screen time, especially at night. Unfollow anything that drains your energy. Remove toxic voices from your mind. Remember, attention flows where emotion goes, so choose your emotional diet carefully. What you consume becomes what you think. What you think becomes who you are. People protect their phones more than their focus. But phones can be replaced. Your mind cannot, so guard it fiercely. Create focus zones. A clean desk, a quiet room, a scheduled time. Your environment trains your mind. If your environment is chaotic, your attention will be chaotic too. Choose environments that help you focus, not environments that sabotage you. Some people say they have no time, but actually they have no focus. Time becomes powerful only when your attention is controlled. 5 focused hours outperform 50 distracted hours. Distraction pretends to be entertainment, but it steals your life. Drop by drop, distraction is death in slow motion. Your future is built by what you focus on today. Focus on learning, focus on health, focus on building, focus on improving, focus on yourself, not on noise. Your dreams require attention, and attention Requires discipline your mind. Like a warrior, every time you ignore distraction, you strengthen your control. Every time you delay reaction, you build mental muscles. Every time you choose focus, you choose your future. Guard your attention like treasure, because once wasted, it never returns. Rule number 7 is simple but life-changing. Whatever controls your attention controls your destiny. So take your attention back, take your mind back, take your life back. Chapter 8. Control your reactions. Subscribe now, because this single truth can transform every decision you will ever make. Emotional mastery is life mastery, and mastering your emotions is the only difference between a person who just survives and a person who truly leads life. Because listen carefully, life will always test you. People will push you, circumstances will stress you, and situations will disappoint you, but your reaction is the only thing truly in your control. And this is where most people lose, because they react without thinking, they speak without understanding, and they choose without awareness. And then they blame life for the consequences, when in reality, they created those consequences through uncontrolled reactions. Every reaction is a seed, and every seed grows into a result. So if your reactions are emotional, impulsive, angry, jealous, or fearful, you will create results that look exactly like those emotions. But if your reactions are calm, intelligent, and intentional, your life will slowly start reflecting that calmness too. Most people believe situations hurt them, but in truth, reactions hurt them more. Someone insults you and you feel offended, not because their words were powerful, but because your reaction gave those words power. Someone ignores you and you feel insecure, not because their silence is damaging, but because your reaction attaches meaning to that silence. Emotional mastery simply means you stop giving your power away. The moment you react emotionally, you hand over control to someone else. When you let someone trigger you them to become the driver of your inner world. And remember, whoever controls your emotions controls your decisions. And whoever controls your decisions controls your destiny. Think about the last time you were angry. Maybe someone criticized you. You immediately felt attacked. Your heart started racing. Your mind started building stories. You pulled old memories. You imagined future conflicts, all in seconds. And what happened next? You said something you regret, or you walked away feeling poisoned inside. That cycle keeps repeating every week, every month, every year, until one day you look back and realize life has been a loop, not a journey. And that loop started with reaction, not reality, because reality never hurts. What hurts is believing every thought, every emotion, every feeling without questioning it. Growth begins the moment you start observing your emotions, instead of obeying them. The moment you start witnessing your reaction, instead of acting from it. When something triggers you, you have two choices: react automatically or respond consciously. A reaction is immediate. A response is chosen. Reaction is emotional. Response is intelligent. Reaction is impulse. Response is wisdom. Anyone can react, but only the aware can respond. This is why emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings. It is about managing them. When anger comes, you breathe. When fear comes, you pause. When insecurity comes, you question it. Emotions are not the enemy. Unconscious reactions are the enemy. Your emotions are signals, shadows, feedback messages, but never masters. You were never meant to be controlled by feelings. Feelings were meant to be understood and then guided. Many people think emotional strength means not feeling sad, not feeling hurt, not feeling scared. But true emotional strength means you feel everything without letting anything control your behavior. Imagine an ocean. Waves rise and fall, storms come and go, but the depth remains unmoved. That depth is emotional mastery. The surface will always move, but the depth stays peaceful. Inner peace is not the absence of emotion. Inner peace is the dominance of awareness over emotion. So how do you start controlling your reactions? First, create space between trigger and action. That space is power. When someone says something hurtful, instead of immediately defending yourself, take one slow breath. That one breath rewires your decision. Second, ask what is true and what is story, because most emotional reactions are stories, not truths. Third, choose the future result you want instead of the temporary feeling you have right now. Ask yourself, if I react like this, what result will it create tomorrow? Your reaction today shapes your tomorrow. Every time you practice this, you build emotional muscle. And just like physical muscle, it grows with repetition. Some people will test your patience. Some situations will push your limits. Some emotions will overwhelm you. But remember, the storm outside can only enter inside if you open the door. Control your inner door, your emotional door, and you control your entire experience of life. The world outside might be chaotic, unfair, unpredictable, but your inner world can be calm, steady, and powerful when you learn to respond consciously. Instead of reacting emotionally, life becomes less noisy and more clear. The most peaceful people on earth are not the ones with easy lives, they are the ones with mastered reactions. The happiest marriages are not perfect relationships. They are relationships where reactions are managed. The most successful leaders do not avoid difficulty, they control their internal state during difficulty. And when you learn this, your confidence rises, your clarity improves, and your life becomes lighter because you stop fighting everything outside and start leading everything inside. From today, tell yourself, I am not my reaction, I am the awareness behind it. I am not the emotion, I am the space in which emotion appears and disappears. Once you understand this, you begin to live life with mastery, not confusion, with clarity, not chaos, and with power, not weakness. So subscribe now, because the next rule will take this awareness deeper and help you build a mind that cannot be controlled by fear, jealousy, or anger. And if emotional mastery truly is life mastery, then controlling your reactions is the first doorway to controlling your destiny. Chapter 9. Design your environment. Subscribe now, because this one principle can silently shape every success or failure in your life. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. And most people fail not because they lack talent, discipline, or intelligence, but because their surroundings are working against them. You might have the strongest desire in the world, but if your environment is filled with distractions, negativity, and temptations, that desire will weaken. Your environment dictates your habits, your decisions, your mindset, and your identity. Whether you realize it or not, humans are creatures of adaptation. We absorb cues from everything around us: your home, your office, your friends, your family, the media you consume, the sounds, the colors, even the clutter. Everything sends a signal to your brain, and your brain reacts accordingly. If your environment tells you it is okay to be lazy, to be distracted, to complain, you will adapt, and your actions will match your surroundings. If your environment encourages focus, growth, positivity, and action, your behavior will follow that path effortlessly. Willpower is limited energy, environment is infinite influence. You might wake up determined to work, but the moment you sit in a chaotic room, check your phone, get distracted by social media, your willpower is drained before you even start. Your environment steals your energy silently and consistently. The most successful people in history understood this principle. They built spaces that supported their goals. They surrounded themselves with people who inspired them, not criticized them. They removed noise, distractions, and negativity. They created a climate where growth was easy and excuses were hard. The first step in designing your environment is to audit everything around you. What do you see when you enter your home? Does it energize you or drain you? What do you hear? What do you read? What do you consume? What kind of people do you spend most of your time with? Do they pull you up or pull you down? Does your environment silently reinforce your ambitions or secretly sabotage them? Every object, every person, every habit carries influence. Notice the patterns, notice the triggers, notice the cues. Second step is to remove friction, remove everything that tempts you to lower standards, remove the things that steal focus, remove toxic influences, remove habits that make you weaker. This is not deprivation. This is alignment. This is creating a system where your best self is the default state. Your environment should automate excellence, not undermine it. Third step is to build supportive structures, place visual cues, reminders, and tools that encourage your goals. If you want to read, keep books visible. If you want to exercise, keep your gym gear ready. If you want to focus on work, create a dedicated distraction, free space. Automate good decisions, so that effort is not required. Make good choices, the easiest choice in your environment. Fourth step is to surround yourself with the right people. Energy is contagious. If you spend hours with people who complain, who doubt, who criticize, you will absorb their mindset. If you spend hours with people who challenge, who encourage, who act, you will absorb theirs. Your identity is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Carefully design this circle, and you design your identity. Fifth step is to shape digital space. Social media notifications, endless content steals. Focus, limit it, schedule it, curate it, control it. Your digital world must serve you, not steal you. Most failures happen not from lack of effort, but from exposure to environments that contradict goals. The place you live, the people you meet, the habits you repeat are all instructions for who you will become. And when you align them with your vision, you remove internal struggle. Your goals become easier. Your discipline Requires less effort, your actions become automatic. Remember small environmental changes. Compound over time, a clean room, a quiet space, a supportive friend, a positive cue. All together create momentum. Momentum beats motivation. Every success is a product of repeated small environmental advantages. Rather than sporadic bursts of willpower, the world outside cannot control you unless you let it control you. Design spaces, people, relationships, schedules, objects, and information that naturally support the life you want. Willpower is limited, environment is infinite influence. Choose wisely your surroundings today, and your future self will thank you. Rule number 9, design your environment. Because your environment silently scripts your behavior, shapes your identity, and builds your destiny before willpower even begins to act. Chapter 10. The rule of consistency. Subscribe now, because this final rule can determine whether you remain stuck or become unstoppable. The rule of consistency states that small daily progress beats massive effort, repeated sporadically. Most people believe success comes from huge leaps, from bursts of energy, from occasional moments of brilliance. But reality is different. Reality rewards those who show up every day, even when they don't feel like it, even when the world distracts them, even when motivation dies. Consistency compounds results like interest in a bank account. Small actions repeated daily grow into massive outcomes over time. The most successful people are not extraordinary because they started strong, but because they never stopped. Ordinary people work hard for a week, a month, maybe a year, and then quit. They expect immediate results. But the universe operates on accumulation, not instant gratification. You plant a seed, you water it daily, and it grows, eventually becoming a tree. But if you water it once and forget it, you will get nothing. Your health, your career, your skills, your relationships, your mindset, your wealth, every area of life follows the same principle. Daily repetition creates mastery. Mastery creates identity. Identity creates results. Consistency builds trust with yourself. When you show up daily, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, that you can follow through, that you can finish what you start. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum reduces resistance. Momentum allows you to perform better than raw effort ever could. Every great habit is formed this way, from brushing teeth to reading to exercising to learning skills. The power is in repetition, not intensity. Intense effort is temporary. Temporary efforts create temporary results. But daily small actions create permanent results. Habits are compounders. If you fail to repeat them, nothing grows. If you repeat them daily, the effects accumulate silently. At first, you barely notice improvement. Then suddenly results appear exponential. The key is patience and persistent. Success does not come from luck. It comes from showing up consistently in the direction of your goals. Even small steps add up faster than occasional leaps. Imagine two people. One studies 1 hour daily, the other studies 10 hours once a month. The daily learner will outperform the sporadic learner. After a few months, the daily learner will retain information better, integrate knowledge faster, and build skill that lasts, because learning compounds through repetition. Intensity without consistency fades quickly and disappears. Consistency also builds resilience, because life will always challenge you. Consistency teaches you to endure, to push forward when motivation dies. When distractions appear, when obstacles arise, the person who shows up daily wins, even when they feel like quitting. Consistency trains your mind to expect results from effort, and your effort to become automatic. Every action performed repeatedly becomes habit. Every habit performed repeatedly becomes character. Every character formed repeatedly shapes destiny. The last secret is this: consistency multiplies all other rules. If you take responsibility consistently, if you define your goals consistently, if you step out of your comfort zone consistently, if you master your mind consistently, if you stay a student consistently, if you build systems consistently, if you guard your attention consistently, if you control your reactions consistently, if you design your environment consistently, your life transforms automatically. Consistency is the bridge between dreams and reality. Consistency is not glamorous. It is often boring, repetitive, unexciting. But boring is the path to extraordinary. The world rewards those who endure and repeat, even when invisible. No one sees the effort, still the universe notices and compounds your actions. Small daily progress repeated faithfully is unstoppable power in motion. Rule number 10. Remember, small daily progress beats massive effort, because consistency creates outcomes effort. Alone creates frustration. Consistency is your secret weapon, your unfair advantage, and your path to lasting success. Follow it every day without exception, and your future self will thank you.